said something, LB, I wanted to pull on for a moment. You said you don't want a slot. And we didn't get to speak about Liverpool and their future on Top 6 show last night because we ran out of time. What do you make of that appointment of Slot? Klopp has now gone. He didn't end particularly well for them this season. We've all seen the footage of Darwin Núñez, not clapping or anything along those lines. How do you think Liverpool are going to do with Arne Slot coming in?
I think they'll go from a team in the short term that challenges for the title to becoming a team that's challenging to get inside the top 4. I think that is completely reasonable to say because Liverpool fans are telling me that Klopp's better than Pep. They're telling me that he's one of the best managers of all time. So actually, it's completely disrespectful, in my opinion, to Jurgen Klopp to say, oh, Slot will come in and do exactly the same. Just like it would be disrespectful to Pep Guardiola to say when Pep Guardiola comes in, Mitchell from Girona is going to come in and do exactly the same. It's not. There's going to be a dip. There's going to be a dip when Pep leaves, and I have to assume there's going to be a dip when Klopp leaves. I have to assume that. So, I think that they'll, like I say, I think they'll go from a team now that he's challenging to try and get in the top 4. I would be very, very, very surprised if their 4 main players, Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk and Salah, if all 4 of them stay. I'm not going to say there could be a mass exodus, but I would be very surprised if at least one of those players didn't leave, just because they're such good players and they want to win. So, yeah, man, it's they're in the same position. They're just 1 year further on down the line. They had their manager, we had our manager, and there's going to be a drop-off when the manager goes. But I just want someone with a bit more experience about them. I want someone with a bit more pedigree. Maybe it's done it in a harder league. Maybe it's had some success in proper Champions League. Rather than someone like a Slot, rather than when United got Ten Hag. So, yeah, ultimately, it is what it is. Liverpool have to back him now because, Klopp sang the song and that. So we'll have to see what happens. But, yeah, I wouldn't be a massive fan of his if I was a Liverpool fan. But, again, who would I rather have had? There are managers that they could have got, though. Tuchel's available. I know they wouldn't want him, but he's got pedigree. He's won Champions League. There are other managers out there as well. Could they have maybe tried and got a Simeone, someone like that? I don't know, man. So, yeah, it's not for me.
The problem I've got is I don't know anything about Arne Slot. I don't know anything about him. All I hear is he plays an attractive style of football in the Dutch league. Where have I heard that before? He's now at Man United. So I can't go on anything by that because I will say, in the defence of Arne Slot, that there's a better structure at Liverpool than there is at Manchester United. So there'll be more of a backing and understanding. And apparently he was on the list that they wanted. He wasn't number 1, of course, but he was on the list of managers they wanted. So it's not like they've just got this guy because 12 other people said no. So they actually were looking at one of him as the top. So that's different. When you look at what I think they should be doing this coming season, I agree with LB. I think that they should be going for a title. Maybe they might go into the top 4 because people have told me that the reason they've gone for titles is because of Klopp, not because of their squad. So that means that they might or should be a drop-off. But I wouldn't accept that as a Liverpool fan. If I'm a Liverpool fan, I want to be going for the title because there's 4 or 5 world-class players in there. The Alissons, the Trents, the Salahs, the Van Dijks. They've got Alexis McAllister, who's done very well this season. If they got themselves a left-back, a centre-back, proper defensive midfielder and a number 9, there's no reason why Liverpool can't go and do what they've done this season and keep up with Man City and obviously Arsenal, if we're the 2 that are going to be up there next season. But I don't think he should be expected to win the league, but he should be expected to title challenge.
It's not challenge. Exactly.
100%. It shouldn't be now. Liverpool, Klopp's gone, maybe top 4, but just get in the top 6. Nah, man, rubbish. This is a good side, man. This is a good squad. And if they improve it, which they should do in the summer, there's no reason why they shouldn't be going for a title again. I just don't understand why there's some of this defeated attitude in the Liverpool fan base. Not from everybody, but from some that are like, oh, well, Klopp's gone, that'll be us now. Try and scrape into the top 4. Like, come on, man. This squad is not bad. It's not Man City level, but it's pretty good. But what is Slot about? I don't know if Slot's good enough to go title. I don't know. I don't know enough about him, Terry.
I don't think some people are doom and gloom. I think there's a lot of Liverpool fans trying to pull on the process rebuild
excuses.
So I don't think people are going to sound being a hypocrite here, but I think there's a difference. Man United are literally starting again. I think we would all agree on that. Yeah. Board changing, medical team changing, probably the manager changing. We'll get onto that in a moment. And I don't think this squad will look anything like this in 2 seasons. At the beginning of the 26-27 season, I think we'll look a very different football club altogether. That's a rebuild. What Arsenal did under Arteta was a rebuild. To a degree, what Chelsea have done, whether people like it or not, has been they just changed every asset of every facet of the club has changed. They're rebuilds. Unless that's what Liverpool are doing, and we've not heard that. They've brought back Edwards, who they say is the best man in the world to run a football club. They will, of course, sell 4 or 5 players, buy 4 or 5 players. This is not a rebuild. It's just a changing of manager. And they should be expected to challenge for the Premier League title, because Liverpool fans have either stated it themselves or accepted the credit for having a brilliant structure, being well run, having great scouting systems, having Moneyball in place, etc., this whole time. Now, there may be a slight drop-off in the team because they don't have a manager that's as good, but he has been picked by Edwards, the man that you actually said is one of the reasons why Klopp was so successful. He was the one that found all the better players, and actually, since he left, the purchases haven't even been as good. So this is where I call bullshit on Liverpool fans trying to play down the expectations of their club. You're not in the same situation that Man United are. And you should thank your lucky stars you're not where we are. I wish my club was where Liverpool were right now, where we've been challenging for a league title. We're spending lots of money. I know Klopp says they don't spend money. It's one of the biggest myths that's ever been created. I actually think there's more chance of proving Bigfoot exists than Liverpool fans proving they don't spend lots of money. Genuinely, they're a huge club. They spend money.
Does he not exist? I always thought he did.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I ain't seen, man. Do you know what I mean? It's or Yetis or any of that Loch Ness monster. That stuff is all more real than Liverpool not spending a lot of money. I can believe it because when he said it in that interview the other day, he said it in front of Jamie Carragher, a Liverpool legend, and Kenny Dalglish's daughter. So no wonder nobody challenged him on his bullshit. But be like, bruv, up until 2 seasons ago, it's probably changed a little bit from now. Total spend on squads, so wages, salaries, agent fees, and transfer fees. Man City had only spent 44 million more than Liverpool in the time that they've both been at the clubs simultaneously. And that wasn't like some random newspaper. That was all taken from Deloitte, who take the information from their trading accounts. And yet this narrative has been spun that Liverpool have done it on this shoestring budget like a pauper and managed to go toe-to-toe with City. And that's spent a lot of money as well. By the way, same as all of us. Everyone in the top 6 has spent billions of pounds over the last 3 or 5 years.
There's nothing wrong with spending money. Like, this is literally
nothing wrong with it
for a long time. But yeah,
that's true.
I don't know. Listen, on the slot thing, I just think Liverpool fans need to maintain a high standard. You know what I mean? You had your club, yeah, and Klopp took over and he's built the club into where it is today, yeah. It's built into a very good team, one of the best teams in Europe, yeah. That's a fact. You now need to maintain that high standard. You need to put pressure on Edwards. You need to put pressure on the board, on the owners to make sure they're spending money. You need to put pressure on the manager to make sure that he's getting it right from day one. Because ultimately, Liverpool are here to win. Liverpool are here to win stuff. And they have a good team. And I'm sorry, if there's too many Liverpool fans going out there talking about process rebuilds, Van Dijk's in his 30s. He ain't going to want to hear no process rebuild. Salah's in his 30s. He ain't going to want to hear that. Trent is being told by Liverpool fans he's the best right back in the world. He ain't going to want to hear no process rebuild. And the same with Alisson. Best goalkeeper in the world, a lot of people think. These players want to win. And they should be winning. They've got a good team. So invest, 150 mil. That's doable for any Premier League team. Don't want to hear no nonsense. That's doable for any Premier League team. Go and invest in a couple of players and then see what happens.
Have the board dropped a bit of a clanger with some of these players, though? Like, real talk. Like, even Trent got 1 year left. Like, that is mad.
Yeah, I think Salah, Trent and Van Dijk have all got 1 year left on the deal.
That's mad.
Who on earth has done that? That is shambolic. That is gross negligence. Yeah, that is gross negligence of any board. No business should have its key staff all running away from it in the same period of time. Because guess what now? They probably are waiting for each other to do the deals. Because no one wants to be the first guy. You know what I mean? Because they all like, well, I want to wait to see what he gets first. And then before you know it, there's only 6 months left. You're going to have Real Madrid sniffing for Trent Alexander-Arnold, by the way. Don't give me all this nonsense. Oh, he's a scouse who'll never leave. He might never leave. But they love a free transfer. And if you're telling him that it's going to be a 3-4 year rebuild, and he's got Real Madrid saying, come to Real Madrid with Jude Bellingham, we're winning Champions Leagues and we're cleaning up La Liga because Barca have fell off. And by the way, we'll probably pay you more than Liverpool. It's up to the Liverpool fans to maintain the standards of what Klopp built. Do not let what Klopp built and that legacy of that team just fall because you're falling into all this BS about processes and rebuild. That is a joke, man. Just as when Pep Guardiola leaves, I ain't going to be sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, it's a 2 to 3 year rebuild, lads. We're done now for a couple of years. See you in 2030." No,
mate, it's spot on. I keep seeing it. Yeah, but we need 4 or 5 players. But every club, typically speaking, 4 or 5 players every summer. What everybody does, and this is the problem. What I'll get like, oh, you're a hypocrite, Terry, because you're talking about Man United's rebuild. Do you think Man United and Liverpool are in the same situation and position? You're either a liar or a moron or a combination of the two. You don't honestly believe that. But again, it's the comfort blanket. What I've found with a lot of the world's football fans now is that most of us don't want expectations on our club.
Facts.
Most of us don't want the pressure of having to try and win because we hate being told. It's the same as with the transfer market. Everybody gets, oh, Terry, but we haven't heard it from any of our trusted tier ones yet. Yeah, because your tier ones don't say it until it's done. But the rumors are there, but they're only denying it in case you get rejected so they can say they were never in for that player. So because everyone's scared of rejection because everyone's become really, really weak. It's the same situation for me. So, yeah, they've got to be challenging next year or it's failure. Doesn't mean they're done and dusted as a club, nothing crazy like that, but they should be challenging next year. It's as simple as that. And what I did laugh at though is the first big player they're linked with plays in the Eredivisie. And I just thought,
no.
Some PSV player.
I'd be putting a ban on that, me. I'd be putting a straight out ban on. I say, no, you're not signing players that you know just because you come from. No, you're signing the players that are good enough for Liverpool.
Exactly.
But then they go, oh, Luis Suarez. And I'm like, all right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, they're going to be, for him to be a success slot, they've got to break the mold anyway. There hasn't really been a successful Dutch manager in the Premier. There's been some that have done okay, LVG and, Gus Hiddink as a caretaker manager and stuff, but no Dutch manager has come here yet and been dominant and highly competitive every year. I don't think there has been one. Do you know what I mean? They've got a lot left to be desired there.